here. Indeed I am. Indeed I am. So much. It's good to be out. It's good to be out of our beautiful state capital. Nice to be back.
Anytime we can get out of this.
Nice to be back in the heartland, right? It's wonderful.
I say to people, they say, where? We're not all of us.
Jim Whipple from Orleans County. There will be over 1,000 students, grades 8 through grades 12. They'll be here at the fairgrounds, where they will be able to experience firsthand activities associated with careers like welding, bricklaying, electrical wiring, heavy equipment operations, and advanced manufacturing, and many more. It's going to be a great experience for our kids to see the careers and companies that are right here in their backyard. To speak more about workforce development and its importance to the continued economic competitiveness of New York State, please join me in welcoming our Lieutenant Governor, Kathy Hochul.
Good morning, and delightful to be back in the Glow region. This is a part of our state that I know like the back of our hand, and I say sometimes I go to some counties and there's a lot more cows than people, and I think I've not only met all the people, but I've certainly got a first name base with all the cows as well. And I'm proud of that. I'm proud of the time I was able to spend representing this region in Congress, but also just since I've been Lieutenant Governor, I've been back just to this county over 30 times. I've been to all this area because I also know how important this is to the continued recovery of the upstate region. And yes, while I live in a city known as Buffalo, it is down the road, I also know the importance of micro areas, places like Batavia and Genesee County and the remainder of the Glow counties, between metropolitan areas like Rochester and Buffalo, but they have an opportunity to provide the workforce to give them flexibility to go to either direction or stay right in those counties. And so creating a nimble workforce and making sure that we can address the needs of the employers who are already here and those who we've successfully attracted here because of the incredible coordinated effort that I see among the 4 economic development agencies. This is something that we all share as a common goal. And so projects like this, pulling together and having incredible partners, and I speak about partners in many levels, but certainly you need your elected partners, and to have Assembly Member Stephen Hawley here, who's a tremendous voice for this region in our state capital, and I know he's always happy to be back in his home turf, but he really is an extraordinary public servant, and I thank him for his friendship and the work he does here. And so he is in sync with Governor Cuomo and my goals, and part of that had to do with allocating $175 million for the first time ever toward economic development projects. And many of you are familiar with the work of the Regional Economic Development Councils. I chair them for all 10 regions, which brings me to this Finger Lakes region with great frequency. But for the first time now, we are layering in grant money through the Regional Economic Development Councils to support retraining of existing workers for the jobs of the future, but also getting young people excited in careers. And I think this is incredible. The thought that there will be over 1,000 young people from 28 school districts coming to the fairgrounds to be exposed to careers and opportunities and literally fun. I know you're going to make it fun because I've been to these elsewhere. And the fact that they're going to be able to use their hands and use their minds and realize that they can be part of physically building back their hometown and never have to leave. They'll be able to do as generations before them and to get job training and work in skills where there's such a demand for them now. Unlike my generation was, why worry about investing in the trades or manufacturing skills or anything, because there's no jobs. They all left anyhow. So don't waste your time with workforce development and job training. What a difference we have today when we have 4.5 million jobs in the trades alone in the state of New York, but there's only 3.4 million people trained to take those jobs. Look at the size of that opportunity. So in young people, and you get 8th graders in here even, who are exposed for the first time to what it's like to be able to around other people in the trades and in manufacturing, and to see from them the pride that they have in their profession, because they're able to help build their community. And I think about the economic development projects, even just the downtown revitalization initiative that Batavia was successful in winning. And we announced just a year ago the 8 projects that will be funded. Those don't just happen. They're on paper. They have to be built. We need people to build them so they can see the physical results of their training or the training that they will have in the future and see a revitalized downtown right in this own county, and it's spreading to the other counties as well. So that's why I spend a tremendous amount of my time focused on workforce development, layered within the context of our regional councils. And we hadn't focused on that as much before. But I also want to make sure that these doors are open to lift young people out of poverty or dire circumstances or the thought that they need to leave their state in order to have a career they can support themselves and their families. And also, let's get the message out. You don't always have to have a 4-year degree to be successful and to have a family here. That whole, and I'm going to say this and probably get in trouble, almost a brainwashing that went on when I was younger, that if you didn't have a 4-year degree, you didn't matter in society. That is so wrong, and I'm afraid it poisoned parents and sometimes guidance counselors and people who are the influencers on kids to say you have to have that 4-year degree. I am telling you, I have been to BOCES programs, Orleans Niagara BOCES program when I was in Congress, and I went and I saw a class of juniors and seniors who were learning sophisticated welding. And there were over 100 young people, and every one of them was spoken for to have a job when they graduated from high school. And they were looking at $60,000, $70,000, and this was a few years ago. And also they were told that if you go on and get a 2-year degree or an advanced certificate in welding, you can make over $100,000. Now you live in Western New York, and you're earning $100,000. And there were girls in this class, and if a girl marries one of her classmates, look how much their earning power is. I mean, they can have Buffalo Bills season tickets and go to Disney World. They have lived the American dream, all with their high school degree. They need to know that, and you don't have to be straddled with a lifetime of student loans that'll stop you from getting your first apartment and your first house and finally leaving the nest. This is game-changing. What we're going to expose these kids to, a vast number of careers. Let's get them energized, let's get them excited, and not let this just be a one-off as well. On this day, when we go forward, after we've opened their eyes to all new possibilities for themselves, how do we sustain that interest? How do we get the guidance counselors to talk about this? How do we get the parents to understand this? If we don't have physically people on the ground wearing hard hats, making it happen. That's why today matters. That's why this announcement is so powerful. And we have had an incredible amount of coordination and collaboration here, and I want to recognize some of the people involved in this because this doesn't happen everywhere. So many areas are competitive with each other. And the concept that you're promoting this region and workforce development skills among 4 counties is a lesson for other parts of our state as well.
We first met about this in September of last year, and every month we've just met. We went and shadowed the Finger Lakes Works with Their Hand event. That's where we got the inspiration to bring an event like this to our community here. We've tweaked it to kind of reflect our region. We're incorporating agriculture, whereas Finger Lakes did a separate agricultural day. We knew if we're going to bring the big guns to this, we have to, honor our biggest industry in this area, which is agriculture. I think what makes this whole initiative great is how many kids out there are kind of wandering aimlessly, not knowing what direction their life will take them in, and then all of a sudden at the age of 17, 18 years old as they're graduating high school, we push them out into the world and say, okay, make one of the largest decisions of your life. It's almost kind of insane that we do that, but this will hopefully give those kids a little bit of guidance and help them to save money if they're planning to go to college. At least they have a direction on what they want to major in, and also understand that there's a lot of apprenticeships opportunities out there. Get that hands-on experience, build up your resume, and that'll lead you to a great, successful career.